Good morning, everybody. It is day 6, Ketchikan today. Gonna head to the Windjammer, get a little breakfast first, and then we'll crank into our day. So, pancakes and a ham and cheese omelet, bacon sausage, and a parfait to start today. It's not too crazy busy around the buffet stations themselves, but the seating is pretty crowded. There's a couple open seats, but not many. And I got a little sick around the first round. I had a couple of really fatty pieces of bacon, so I got a few more that were a little better. Some pineapple, honeydew melon, and some pears. One thing I want to note in the nitpicking weird category here is this piece here is not seamless. It's raised ever so slightly from the rest of the counter, so it's not as big a problem with this plate, but if you got a smaller bowl or something, it needs to be fully on here. Otherwise, these things are so light, they will lean to either side. Not a big deal, but if you got a small bowl or something that kind of you want to pull a little closer to you, it's gonna tip. It's gonna flip on this because it's raised just a little bit. All right, breakfast is done. That was good. It cleared up quite a bit when I was finishing, so plenty of seats in there now. Although there's a few folks sitting outside here. This is not a bad spot. Some of the seats and tables here at the edge are a little wet, but the tables and seats further in aren't bad, and the weather's not too bad. So we are slowly making our way in. There is a ship out there. We are going to be arriving in Ketchikan very shortly. Unfortunately, Mrs. Coaster is still under the weather. She's had a little bit of a cold, and she's just feeling really tired and exhausted, and still feeling a little bit of pain with her legs, her knees. So she's going to be resting. I brought her some breakfast and some tea, and hopefully she's feeling a little better, although I'm not sure she's going to be able to go into Ketchikan with me today. It's Friday. And here's the Ketchikan airport. See the runway, there's a couple of Air Alaska planes down here, ready for morning flights out. There up ahead I can see where the cruise port is, so we should be going in here shortly. Looks like 2 other ships are already there. Alright, we arrived in Ketchikan. Walk up the bridge and see what activities we can find. As we get off the ship, lots of excursion availability here if you want to sign up for excursion.
You gotta kind of lean into it.
Downtown free shuttle. I think I'm just going to walk and avoid the line for the free shuttle right now. Historic Newton. So these houses built in the hillside are part of the early 20th century commercial fishing. This is our ship, and we're going to peer back. The rest of the line is on the other side of the trees there, and then there's this line. So this pretty good line. I'm sure it must go somewhat quickly, but it is pretty packed right now. So I'm going to skip it and walk through this crowd up ahead. Jellyfish Donuts. Now I hear good things about that place over there. can get to eat here at Jellyfish Donuts. So I ended up skipping the Jellyfish Donuts. I wasn't jonesing for a donut that much, as opposed to like seafood or a beer later. And the line was just really moving slow. And it looks like some pretty cool flavors, but nothing I haven't seen before, so. You can see we are in berth 4. Looks like the Holland America Westerdam's in berth 3. Other ones are right at downtown, so I got a little bit of a walk to get downtown, but that's okay. Another place I've heard really good things about. I could go for a burger. All right, I was just about to order from Burger Queen, and you can get fish and chips or a burger, but it's 25-minute wait. So I said, let's table that, try later. Jackpot, found the game store all the way here in Ketchikan. Dog park, rear window, Clank in space, Great Split, all the good ones. Yeah, we're not going to say that. So this place is very popular and recommended. They got seafood and they're famous for their chowder. Our chowder has arrived. And here it is. It's their original recipe from the early 1920s. That's what they're famous for. So let's have some chowder. So the chowder was good. Good report on the chowder. The service on Google, kind of a lot of reviews said slow. That was true. It was a little slow. I think they're still a little short-handed, and it just was not super fast. It wasn't too terribly slow for me, but it was a little on the slow side, and all I ordered was a bowl of chowder. So, but it was good. Well, I got one mission accomplished today. I was supposed to get all my postcards mailed to family. Yes, some people do still send postcards. It's one of those things that almost seems like a relic of the past, because everybody just posts on Instagram, and you sort of got an instant postcard. But it's still kind of cool to send postcards, and some people can't get Instagram or social media or something like that, so it's nice for those people to get a little postcard in the mail. So we reached the corner, bam, found the Ketchikan sign. Orca corn. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks a lot like popcorn. But maybe they've thrown something in it. It's kettle corn, but I'm not sure exactly what makes it orca corn, and I don't really care to find out today. Slowly making my way up to Creek Street. Eat, sleep, read. This bookstore is one that my dad told me was one of his favorite places to stop in Ketchikan, was this little bookstore. I've reached Creek Street. Let's go check it out. Now, originally this was a red light district once upon a time. It's where the salmon and the men came to spawn. You're gonna actually tour Dollys House, which is one of the former houses of prostitution. Most of the rest of it has turned into gift shops and a museum or two, but certainly pretty views here along Ketchikan Creek. It is still raining pretty steadily, as you can see here. So we see the raindrops on the creek. But that's what you get when you come to Alaska. It is definitely rainy a lot. It looks like this artwork is dedicated in honor of the Haida Native carnivores. And salmon come up here to spawn. Not seasonal just yet. Alright, so it's right down there. Walked up a few steps. Climbing a little further up on the boardwalk. And see where this takes us. I know we're close to the salmon ladder, which is an elevated structure that helps the salmon get up a higher spot. There's the Tongass Historical Museum right on Ketchikan Creek. This part, I know Annette would not be doing with me. She would say, yeah, go up there and climb all those steps and meet me back down here. So it's just really beautiful in here. This is just a very pretty walkway. Not a whole lot of noise outside of the roar of the creek rapids. It's real pretty looking at the creek from up here. Here's the salmon ladder. It's not quite season for them to be spawning, but they'll slide right up here, up this leg, and then up that. And that helps them get up this ridge a little bit easier. In season, which is like July to August, September, you'll be able to see salmon moving up this ladder to get up to spawn. The salmon come up the ladder there, they go through this channel, and then they can make their way up into the upper level of the creek. We make our way back down the steps toward Creek Street, Main. Creek Street proper, maybe. Some basic walking around town this time. We'll come back here, we might book one of the excursions that are available here. There's salmon fishing, salmon bakes. I think you can do seaplanes or whale watching tours here, as well as hiking the Tongass National Forest, which is gorgeous. We've seen little bits of it. Creek Street Reef, homemade clam chowder, halibut, and cod. Very pretty back here. Now there's this funicular here that says it's celebrating 50 years, and looks like maybe they're doing some work on it. But I know from other cruise folks we know that have come along here, this funicular has not operated in quite some time. So I don't know, maybe they're working to open it back up. I don't know. They ship salmon free tastings. A wooden carved saw with animals of Alaska in it. Sam McGee's Warehouse. Jams, jellies, honey sauces, wood carvings, knives, just about whatever you might need. He's old. He's not the only one. And right as we get to the end of the creek, you can see the ships. We got the Holland America. I'm trying to see which one it is. We've got the Worcester Dam here, and I'm not sure if this is the newer dam or not. You thought I was joking about where men and spawn both come upstream to spawn. Circa 1905, Dolly Arthur, one of the creek's longest working residents. From 1940 was her place of business. Finally settled here at number 24, lived in the house until 1973. Moving on from the Creek Street, see what else I can find. I did overhear someone just say, Dollys House. Is that Dolly Parton's house? No, that is not Dolly Parton's house of prostitution. That's a different Dolly. The Chief Johnson Totem Pole, the original, was erected here in 1901. 500 people attended that. Chief Johnson became the leader of the tribe. There's the mythological Ketchikan, I believe, at the top, that when it lands on the ground it becomes a talisman. The pole that is here now is a replica that was commissioned in 1989 to replace the original pole. The original pole is stored nearby so that they can preserve it. And this replica was placed here so we can still enjoy. And right across from Creek Street is the Tongass Historical Museum. And just a $6 admission here with the Tongass Museum, Historic Museum in Ketchikan. It's a very small museum, but a cultural examination. Now it's a good thing we didn't have cars back in the days of the woolly mammoths, isn't it? Now, I've seen this map for sale, the map of Alaska fossils, in a couple of the gift stores. I love this map. I like the old style to it, the art style. It's very, very cool, and it tells you all the different fossils that exist in different areas of the state. And interesting, skull of a harbor seal, a sea lion skull, a coastal brown bear skull, and a short-faced bear. And it says sea lion, seals, sea lion, and walruses are the closest relatives of bears. Interesting, didn't know that. Now cool, so we got some sporting goods. There's a basketball that is from 1934. And we got a couple of bowling shirts here, circa the mid-60s, for Tatsuda's Groceries, and Ellis Airlines had a team. And there's a pair of bowling shoes too for the 50s. Alright, so I finished up with the Tongass Historic Museum here. Very small museum, but lots of cool little bits of history from Ketchikan and the area. So if you're just looking for something to do in the downtown area for a short bit, I did it in about 25 minutes. You could spend a lot more time or a lot less time. Maybe not a lot more. Maybe you could spend a little bit longer than that if you wanted. There's lots of little notes and historical details and art. So that was pretty cool. Good way to get, it's not really raining now, but if it's raining, you're looking to get out of the rain, that's a good way to do it. Admission was $6. Wadden Street Brewing Company. They're open. Let's check it out. So I think I picked up here Shut Up Donna, the blueberry, or no, I think it's the porter, the extra innings, the wheat beer. But cool place. Very small, only a handful of tables. But that's what it's all about, right? You come to these places, you don't necessarily want to eat in the big giant touristy place at the right next to the dock. You want to eat at some cool local place, some local dive or whatever. Not that was a dive, but small tiny little brewery, only about 4 tables in the whole place. local in there recommended Alaska Fish House. So that's where I'm headed now. I'm gonna go get me a little bit of something from the Alaska Fish House. Here's what they got. I'm going to get me a Twisted Creek, which is one of their IPA brews. Starting today with a Twisted Creek, which is the local, which is the Denali Anchorage, or Denali, Alaska brewery, local to the state at least. And that's an IPA, pretty hoppy IPA. So I'm going to start with that, and I've ordered a halibut fish and chips. So looking forward to that arriving. Cheers. So I got my halibut fish and chips, light tempered batter,
Chowder, yeah.
and it looks really good. I had my first couple bites of this, and it's really light. The batter's really light, not too heavy at all, so it's really good. All right, so I just finished a little bit of time at the Ketchikan Grab and Go, which is right in the water here next to the Alaskan Fish House. That's where I was going initially. The line was really long and not moving, so I went to the Ketchikan Grab and Go, and I really liked it there. It was nice. The food was amazing. Got some halibut fish and chips, which was really light batter, not too heavy, not too greasy. Amazingly really tasty halibut. Some local or regionally local Denali beer. Chatted with another couple from one of the other ships in the port, from the Celebrity Eclipse, John and Susie. Enjoyed chatting with them. It was really nice. And I'm going to start making my way back towards the ship. I believe that's the New Amsterdam. Looks like it, from Holland America, New Amsterdam, that way. Whip over this way. Looks like the Princess Sapphire has left. Celebrity Eclipse is still here. And Brilliance. Now, steep ramp down to the dock. And then we'll get back on the ship. And the nice thing about being on deck 2 is we come right off of the gangway to our cabin.
Deck 11.
All right, so I'm back from Ketchikan. I helped check in on Mrs. Coaster, Annette. I got her some food from the buffet. Made sure she's doing okay and she got something to eat. And I came up and grabbed a little something to tie me over for the evening. And in the buffet, it's not all that busy right now. It's a steady group, but it's not crazy crowded. Plenty of seats available. Plenty of room to work around the food if you want it. Got back a little late for a main dining room if I wanted to. I think tonight's lobster night. Wouldn't have minded going to that, but I hit some other things in town. Once again, headed through the Schooner Bar here towards the Colony Club. It's a game show coming up called Split the Difference.
Is it China, this circle right here, or is it New Zealand? Is it China? It produces the most coffee in the world. Is it Colombia, or is it Brazil? Which country produces the most coffee
Which
in
country
the
produces
world?
the most coffee?
Colombia or
Forward circle is Colombia,
Brazil?
back circle is Brazil.
Alright, what? And it is Brazil. We got a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
to some music. I attended a couple of game shows. One was Rock the Room, where you have to identify, it was like a race to the mic to identify the song. I got one of them because I was seated far away and I was not sprinting to race up there like a couple of the 20-year-olds were doing. I was like, if nobody knows it, I'll wander up and I'll do it for my team. That was pretty fun. And then the other one was Split the Difference, where basically they give you two answers. Everybody has to move into the circle to figure out which one's the right one, and they narrow it down. And I made it to the final round of one of them before I lost it, so that was kind of fun. Missed having Miss Coaster around, and she is just resting. After that, I just listened to some music, a couple different venues. There was the piano music, there was guitar music, there was a small band playing in the Centrum, so I just did a little bit of that. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, tell your friends. And remember, kids, have a good time all the time.